Welcome to the NFL Saturday Podcast. This is Amp.
And I'm Scotty.
And we're here to catch you up on fantasy football for the week, and we'll
have some fun along the way. Hey, that was pretty good.
I think it was.
We said it at
that delay, so I don't know.
We said it at the same time, but the delay is going to fuck it up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. If you think we said it at the same time, then there's probably a delay. Cause
True.
You're behind. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway.
I do know.
Today we're going to talk about fantasy players' schedules in the fantasy playoffs. But first...
That's very important.
Yeah, it's very important. Very important as we get near the playoffs. But I do have a fun fact for you, Scotty. Are you ready for a fun fact? You've been waiting for this one.
I have? Okay, let's go. Fun fact me up.
So, fun fact that since 1988, both Super Bowl teams didn't make the playoffs 4 times. It happened 4 times. We were talking about this, and 4 times the teams that were in the Super Bowl didn't make the playoffs the next year, is what I'm trying to say.
Good for you, because I asked you that question, but I wasn't sure we'd be able to find out. You had to do a lot of research for that, I bet. I
kind of did. I first looked up if there was any Super Bowl winners that didn't make the playoffs the next year, and there was like 8, and then I just looked at who they played, and then if they made the playoffs the next year. So 4 times. Okay. It was
and obviously the reason
Broncos and Falcons.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what? Oh no! What the?
I thought you were. See, you pause and then I go to talk, but I think the pause seems longer because of other outside effects, like you said. There's maybe a delay.
Yeah.
So I always think you're pausing and I can jump in. And then you weren't actually pausing. It's like, fuck.
What were you? Did you need to say or want to say something though?
No, I was gonna say the reason we're talking about that at all is because the Rams obviously look like their season's done. They're not gonna be able to save this. The Bengals are fighting for a wild card spot, but it's possible that they don't make the playoffs too. So this could be the 5th year.
Yeah, and the 4 times, one in 1999 was the Broncos and the Falcons. And I guess I think it was after John Elway retired, so that makes sense. In 2002, the Patriots and then the St. Louis Rams both didn't make it. Tom Brady was still young; they were still figuring stuff out, so that kind of makes sense.
Okay.
2003 was the Buccaneers and Raiders. Don't really know what happened there, but I'm sure something happened. Injuries, who knows? Of course. And then 2016 was the Broncos-Panthers. And obviously Peyton Manning retired. And then that was Cam Newton when they went like 16-1 that one year. And then I think he got injured or something, right? I don't remember.
He got injured a lot. It's going to be hard to think about that.
Yeah. Exactly. But those are the 4 times. Yeah.
Just 6 years ago, Cam Newton went 16-1 and made a Super Bowl run, and now he doesn't play anymore.
I know. That's pretty insane.
That's brutal to think about. The NFL is a brutal mistress.
Yeah. Very very cruel game. And I don't know. Interesting to see some of those teams who go all in that one year just kind of collapse, and we're seeing it with the Rams right now. Credit card charges hitting hard. So.
If there's any Bengals fans out there, we're secretly hoping that this will not be the 5th year both teams do not make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Anyway, though, are you ready for the next segment?
Mr. Unlimited.
Moment of the week.
All right, let's do it. What did he do this time?
This actually wasn't Russell Wilson, even though he was a little weird in the press conference. Still, of course, doing the Broncos Let's Ride thing. Still weird. But this was a different person in a post-game press conference. And it is Zach Wilson, who went 9 for 22 in the game for 77 yards with 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. and they only scored 3 points the whole game, and they lost 10-3. And their defense only gave up 3 points because there was a special teams touchdown. I don't know if you saw that, but
I think I did read about this. He had 2 yards in the second half. We had one completion for 2 yards in the second half.
Yep. And in the post-game conference, he was asked, when the defense only gives up 3 points and the offense only scores 3 points, do you feel like you let the defense down? His response was, no. And then he left the conference.
Wow.
And a lot of his teammates are pissed, especially the defense, obviously.
Of course.
But did you hear about this or no?
I did remember seeing a video with a thumbnail of him saying no, and the title of the video was like Zach Wilson throws for 2 yards in the second half. But I didn't watch the press conference. But that's as a young guy, he should be able to come out there and be a leader and take responsibility. That was his chance to like step up and get his team around him. And instead he put up a wall. That was the wrong choice, brother.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Jesus.
And they're now considering whether or not he's even going to play next week. So
that I did see. Someone asked him about the QB position, and he said we're open to all possibilities moving forward, which is the cryptic way of saying, "Hey, Joe Flacco, you warmed up."
Yeah, you warmed up. I think it was pretty funny too, because in the interview he also mentioned something about how he wasn't really that upset because the wind was really high too, which I find very funny. But I think the only thing that was missing from this post-game conference was like at the end he should have just been like, Jets, let's fly, baby.
That would have been funny. Jets Nation, let's fly.
Yeah, if he did that, then I think I would have had more respect for him, just fully embrace the Russell Wilson side of things.
Lean into it.
Yeah.
But, oh my God. Dang, he had an actual moment to become a leader and he f***ed it up. Sorry, he messed it up.
I'll cut that out or bleep it.
Yeah, sometimes I forget. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I think on YouTube it does stuff. I don't think it does anything on podcasts, but I don't know. Anyway,
my fault.
No worries. I guess we can go into the main topic. We don't have a story time, so we're just going to go into the main topic, which is the strength of schedule in the playoffs. So are you ready for this, Scotty?
I hope I have some of these players on my team. That's all I'm hoping.
Me too. Because I need them. If I make it, that is. I don't know if I'm going to make it. That said, we're going to start off with QBs. And essentially, I'm just going to list the top 5 QBs who have the best strength of schedule, and then the worst 5 QBs who have the worst strength of schedule. And this is in weeks 15, 16, 17 of the playoffs. So just something to keep in mind. If you do have a different playoff schedule, you may want to look into different rules or different stats, but I think you should have your playoffs 15, 16, 17 or 16, 17 anyway. Otherwise, your league is kind of weird. So
yeah, I think it's standard. Nobody does week 18 because players are benched and everything like that.
Yeah, you definitely should not do week 18. And 14 through 16 is like you're just missing out on a free week essentially. So yeah, I guess we'll get into it. So for QBs, the top 5 QB schedules are the New York Jets, the Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers, and then Houston Texans. So, out of those 5, Scotty, any ones that you're excited about, any ones you're not worrying about playing?
Yeah, it's funny that the New York Jets have the easiest schedule for quarterbacks when I don't think you're starting those guys anyway. Even if you have somebody with the worst strength of schedule, I don't think you're benching them for Zach Wilson or Joe Flacco.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How about you? Anybody stand out to you on the list?
I mean, as someone who is in a desperate quarterback situation in a 2 QB league, Joe Flacco could possibly be on my list. But I think the two ones I'm really looking at starting are obviously Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Garoppolo. I think those two you could actually start, and I don't think the rest you could start. So that's kind of my thought. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I don't care how easy Davis Mills' schedule is. He's not touching a starting lineup. And if he's in your lineup, you either got ravaged by injuries or you suck at fantasy football. The thing I like about Green Bay and San Francisco, about them having an easy schedule, their actual team could still be competitive for a wild card spot, or even potentially San Francisco can win the division.
Yeah.
So they have an easy schedule, and they should actually be out there with the starters trying to win games. So it is super exciting to see Jimmy G on that list.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I totally agree. But I think Aaron Rodgers could definitely step it up if he gets back into form. So we'll see if those are the kind of the only two. But with the good, you also have the bad. And some of these I'm definitely concerned about, because the hardest strength of schedules are the Miami Dolphins, the Washington Commanders, the LA Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Arizona Cardinals. And I think all five of I guess besides hopefully Carson Wentz you're not starting, or Taylor Heineke. The other four are people you might actually be starting if you're in deeper leagues and stuff. And I'm very worried about them now. So any thoughts?
I'm looking at Miami in particular, which is rated as the hardest schedule. And it looks as though the wide receivers are also going to be in that bottom 5 category of worst matchups. We could talk about that later. But having those both be in the same list, you might actually consider fading Tua those couple weeks, depending on which specific team they're playing. That's scary to see such a top talent right now to be on that list, and you have to be worried about him as the season comes to an end and you need him the most.
Yeah, and I will say that I think Tua's the one that I'm the least worried about those 4, just because the team is like so good that it might not matter. Like, I think there is a chance he gets a ton of points, but I think definitely not Stafford and definitely not Trevor Lawrence. And then even Kyler Murray, I would be worried about. So I don't know. All of those concern me though. And definitely if you do have Tua, like, I'm trying to find someone else, but there's a good chance you're not going to find someone better, So I don't know. Hard to say.
It's definitely scary to see that bottom list of 5 actually be guys that you would be playing.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. And even if you go just a couple of spaces up that list, Herbert is in the bottom 10, Jalen Hurts is in the bottom 10, Cousins, Burrow. There's a lot of QB talent in that bottom 10 on that list that could really affect your playoffs come January, December. So,
yeah, definitely.
Look out, people.
Yeah, very worried. I guess with the bad news, though, we can move back to the good with the RBs. And, these are some juicy ones, because we have the Indianapolis Colts, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tennessee Titans, and the New Orleans Saints. And oh my gosh, am I excited as a Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara owner.
Oh, you love that list. You love that list.
And a Jonathan Taylor owner. Ooh.
I don't think I have anybody on that list, but that's super exciting.
Yeah, in our league, I specifically have Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara. So I am very excited for the playoffs now. I don't know. I mean, obviously these matchups will slightly change strength of schedule, just because some of the teams go on trends, where their defense gets better or their defense gets worse. So
correct.
You will definitely want to check in again on these ratings, and we might do another episode on this later. So I would just check it on, you can Google it yourself, and they might change slightly, but hopefully they're somewhat similar, because all of these running backs are going to be good. Even Pacheco, I'd be excited about now. I think he's more of like a flex option, like a third running back, or possibly second running back if you're that desperate. But overall, I think it's very exciting. I don't know. Any thoughts on that, or do you kind of agree with that?
I'm right there with you. It's exciting because in recent weeks, like you said, Pacheco has kind of been hitting his rhythm, and so has Najee Harris. Jonathan Taylor's been having an off year, but it's not his fault. Ever since Jeff Saturday came in and took over the coach, he said himself 85% of his time he's spending in there with the offensive line and those coaches trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Why can't Jonathan Taylor run the ball? Yeah. Since he's been there, production is on an uptick. So by the time we get to playoffs 3 or 4 weeks away, they should have that pretty solidly ironed out, have their game plan set up. I'm super excited for all 5 names on that list. I don't have any of them, and I hope I don't go against any of them. But that is a tough list for like 5 of the top 10 guys to have the easiest matchups going forward. That's brutal. If you go against these guys, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with Jonathan Taylor, at least for me, I've had him. I think he's got 25 points about the last 2 weeks, and it's been like, I don't know. It's not like he's getting like a ton of work. Like he's getting just good quality targets now, and like getting catches and stuff, which was the big worry early on, was he wasn't getting like targets and stuff. So I think I'm very excited about him.
Absolutely.
So I guess now we can go on to the bad matchups, and this also has some concerning ones because we have some star players on here, and that is the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Falcons, and the Browns. And oh my gosh, am I worried about Joe Mixon? I am so worried about Joe Mixon. I feel like he's the one too who's like, he's kind of hovering on that like border where like if he has a good matchup, you obviously want to play him, but you're very worried when he has a bad matchup. It's kind of like Aaron Jones is in that category too, where I don't know. I'm just very worried. Do you agree with that, at least, that Joe Mixon is?
Absolutely. A couple of weeks ago, when we talked about the top 5 at each position and Joe Mixon was in there, we both pretty much agreed that he won't finish the year at top 5. And looking at his strength of schedule going forward, all evidence supports us being correct. Sorry, Bengals fans. But Joe Mixon just isn't going to be it. Fantasy playoffs, he's the type of player, like you alluded to, completely benchable based on matchups. So it looks like Joe Mixon might be riding the pine pony weeks 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah. And then right as James Conner is starting to look good too. I'm definitely worried about him because it's not like he's getting a ton of catches right now, I don't think. So he's someone I'm worried about. Josh Jacobs too. I mean,
another big guy. Yep.
Another big guy. Yeah. And then Nick Chubb. I mean, he's all running. He doesn't catch many balls at all. So very worried about him. I guess if you do have Cordero Patterson, it's worrying, but hopefully you're not playing him anyway. So I mean, you can't rely on kick return touchdowns every week. So
last week when we were talking about Nick Chubb, we both agreed that he's not a pass catching back. But I think versus the Bills this past weekend, he had a catch, broke a couple tackles, and went for like 30 yards or something. And I was like, maybe he does catch. I was like, maybe he does catch passes. Then they didn't use him for that the rest of the game.
I saw that.
He just had one great play, and they were like, you know what? We're not going to do that again. That's how you lose games, folks.
That's like when Derrick Henry catches the ball, you're like, oh my God, he's so good at that. And they just don't do it anymore. I mean, they have been recently, but...
It was funny because last week, Derrick Henry, he came out of the game for like one play, and they threw like a 30-yard touchdown pass to Hilliard. And I'm like you could have used Henry for that. Come on. Like,
yeah.
He's just as good. That being said, Nick Chubb, he's, in my opinion, he's in that category of ride or die. You got him in the first 2 rounds. In my opinion, those kind of guys, you just leave them in, right? Are you really benching?
You don't really benching
Nick Chubb? He's like a true talent. I think he can figure it out. He can solve defenses.
Even if he does bad, he still might get 10 points. It's not. It's just the high upside that you're not going to hit. But you have to start him anyway, like just in case, because he could get a couple touchdowns. So,
but the other 4 people on this list, I think are benchable based on matchups.
I will say Josh Jacobs. I think I would consider starting Josh Jacobs anyway, just because.
You think no matter what?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's been so good this year. I think that's the reason.
Fair point.
Awesome. Well, we were just talking about Cleveland, but for the wide receivers that are good, they are one of the best matchups, followed by
which
Green
completely
Bay.
Destroys the argument I just made.
It does.
That if I say you should play Chubb, no matter how hard his matchup is, but then if you look at their wide receivers who look to have the easiest matchups, that sort of contradicts that they would run the ball anyway, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of situation.
Yeah, possibly. I think, especially since they do have 2 seemingly good wide receivers now.
Daniel Peoples-Jones is really filling in that spot.
Yeah, and I did mention that Amari Cooper does really bad on the road. However, if it weren't technically on the road, it was a neutral site game. So, so that could still be true. Just something to keep in mind.
It's funny because I think the Cleveland Browns are closer to the Detroit stadium than Buffalo was. I guess that was just the closest neutral stadium without weather problems, potentially.
Yeah, and also Buffalo probably wanted to be because they're playing in Detroit on Thursday too, so they probably were just like, it's just going to be easier if we do it there or something. So that would make sense.
But you know what I heard? I heard that the Buffalo staff went back home after the game, and then they're going to travel back to Detroit again. Yeah, I read an article, and I didn't fact check it, but I read an interview where the coach said, no, we're going to go back home Sunday night and then Monday and come back Wednesday. What? What are you doing?
So
just stay. Yeah, what the
heck? I guess we can move on though from Cleveland, because I do think both receivers will be good, but also some good wide receivers are Green Bay, Carolina, Baltimore, and Chicago. So, I guess, are you excited about DJ Moore?
No.
No? Yeah.
No. I am excited about Christian Watson, though.
Yeah.
He's been coming into his own.
I also think that there's a chance that it could be any of the Green Bay receivers that does well. I think Lazard could be that person, or Dobbs if he comes back. So it's like one of those things where you might just want to play a couple of them, I don't know. I will say though, I actually do kind of think DJ Moore has some upside, because he always has these random stretches of 2 games where he'll just get 35 points or something, and just go off.
Would you still feel that way if Sam Darnold came back and started?
I don't know if that's a downgrade or an upgrade, so I would say yes. I think there's a chance.
Okay.
I'll say if you're an underdog in the playoffs, if you're a lower seed and you have DJ Moore, I would play him, because he has that high upside where he could just win you the week. Mm-hmm. And I that's why I would consider playing him. I wouldn't necessarily just play him, but I would consider it.
Obviously base it off of your other players and what their matchups are. Don't bench somebody with more potential just for an opportunity. Take the solid pick. One more question I have for you.
Yes.
If Romeo Doubs comes back healthy, do you think Christian Watson has done enough to solidify his role, or do you think he downgrades?
I think he definitely will have a role still, and I think he'll be possibly the main role, but I do think Dobbs will take some of the targets and snaps away. So I don't think he'll necessarily be downgraded that much, but I think it will just be split more often than it has been, So
okay.
I still think Watson's good, but I do think I don't know. I'm not confident he'll be consistent. Like Lazard had a good game too, and I'm more confident in Lazard than Watson. But no, maybe I'm just crazy. So
no, I agree that Dobbs coming back does make an impact. We'll just have to wait and see how big of an impact.
Yeah.
That being said, Baltimore is 4th on the list, and I don't necessarily think that's anything to get excited about. Everybody over there, like Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, other guys that their names I can't even remember because even though I'm a Baltimore fan, they do so little. I can't think of the names off the top of my head. They're a run first.
I agree.
They're a run first team, so them having easy matchups doesn't excite me. But if you're desperate, you could definitely throw out like a Duvernay or a Rashad Bateman if he's back healthy.
Isn't Bateman out for the year now? I could be wrong.
Did they downgrade him? I was just about to check. After I said it,
I think so.
As soon as I said it, I was like, wait, he could be on the IR. He is on the IR.
Okay. Yeah, I think he got surgery or something, or getting surgery. I think it was the same time Michael Thomas. I don't know if you remember that story. It was like
I remember.
Thomas. Yeah.
I just didn't. I guess I never checked that it was like fully off of the year. Dang, that guy never plays a full season.
No. Yeah. Never. It's crazy. And then Chicago, do you feel the same way? Also, or do you think Mooney? I guess it depends if Fields is healthy.
Yeah, I guess we do have to talk about that. If they can't fix his dislocated shoulder and he does miss extended time, even potentially the rest of the season, that obviously downgrades the whole receiving core. But that might be your chance for Chase Claypool to finally get that touchdown you keep asking me about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe.
We're going to have to wait and see. But I'm excited for fantasy playoffs. Anyway, always excited for fantasy playoffs.
Oh, yeah, always excited. However, we do have some bad wide receiver matchups that I'm not excited about.
Let's take a look.
Yeah. Some of them are worrying. I'll just say that.
Oh my goodness.
Kansas City Chiefs, Minnesota Vikings, LA Rams, Buffalo Bills, and Miami Dolphins. Ooh, do we have some good wide receivers in there? I don't know. This is what's worrying because you're going to start your studs. You're going to play Jefferson. You're going to play Cooper Kupp when he's back. You're going to play Diggs. You're going to play Tyreek and probably Waddle. But what happens if they get shut down? You don't get any points. And wide receivers are much more inconsistent than running backs. You don't have as much faith in like a Chubb. A Chubb is going to get 10 points probably. But like these wide receivers could get like 3 points. All
right.
What do you think? Do you think that's possible or am I crazy?
I think I'm going to put you to the test.
Okay.
Out of those 5 teams, pick one guy that you're starting no matter what. Just pick one. Pick your number one guy. Out of Tyreek, Justin, Diggs.
Oh, I think it's Tyreek. Tyreek, I'm playing no matter what.
I'm right there with you, dude.
Cool.
If I had all of those guys on my team and I could only pick one in the tough matchup situation, Tyreek Hill he seems unstoppable, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't really have that bad game that everyone else on occasion seems to slip in a bad game.
We seem to jinx everyone. We jinxed Tyreek, Cooper Kupp. We just jinxed Justin Fields and TJ Hawkinson. So I guess if we jinx everyone, we should talk about all the Cowboys players and how great they've been doing. And Dak Prescott has been doing great. CeeDee Lamb has been great. Zeke. The Cowboys defense, they're great. They're going to win the Super Bowl. All right? So let's just talk about that.
I do want to point out that if we jinxed Tyreek Hill, he still got 15 points. He still had 5 catches. He still had 5 catches and a touchdown.
I thought he had like 7 points that week that we jinxed him. Am I wrong? I thought we jinxed
how long
him
ago are you talking?
It was right before the bye that we jinxed him.
Yeah, he had 5 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown.
Really?
If that's a jinx, give it to me, dude. 15 points. I'm not really complaining about from him. 15 points is low.
Okay, fair enough. I thought he got less points for some reason in my head.
But like other players like Jefferson, they have games sometimes where they just get like 1 catch and they get completely shut down. Literally, Justin Jefferson this weekend had 3 catches for 33 yards. He got totally shut down, so he's not matchup proof.
And Cooper Kupp coming back from injury when they're already out of the playoffs probably by then. I'm worried about that.
True. Nothing. They won't have any reason to like force him the ball or put in. He already got his contract. They're already out of the playoffs. Why push him and potentially hurt him further? Yeah,
I will say the easiest decision here is to not play any Kansas City receiver.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's like already like flex options, and now they're like 100% benchable. So if you don't have another option besides them, then something's wrong with your team. So
especially since KC's matchups at the same time for the running backs, like we discussed, they're in a top 5 running back situation, so they could easily focus on like the RPO, get Mahomes rolling out, get Pacheco the ball, maybe get Clyde Edwards-Helaire back in the equation, and less focus on the passing game.
Yeah.
So 100% agree that on Kansas City you can bench everybody. I think you still probably played Jefferson, Kupp, Diggs, Hill, Waddle, but understand that bad game might be coming. Just be aware. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I guess we're just talking about Kansas City, but if we're going to move on to good tight end matchups, the top 5 are San Francisco, Kansas City, New York Jets, Tampa Bay, and New England. And if you have Kelsey or Kittle, oh my God, you are so
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm very happy too. I just don't know if I'll make the playoffs. So I just got to hope to make the playoffs right now. But oh my gosh, he is going to go off. And then even the Jets, you're excited about Conklin because he's been pretty solid. I think you're definitely playing Conklin, and you're probably playing Hunter Henry if you don't have a good option, I think Hunter Henry is a solid play. Do you think?
Okay.
Is it Cade Otton? Is that his name?
Otton, yeah, Otton. He's had a good couple of weeks.
Exactly. Are you playing him if you're like, who's the tight end? Middle of the pack. Are you playing him over? I'm trying to
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox. Yeah. That's a good. Are you playing him over Dawson Knox? That's a good one.
Interesting.
I think I might, but at the same time,
I think
they might rely on Dawson Knox.
So. True. Because we just talked about the receiver matchups being tough. We did talk about it a couple weeks ago that if you don't have like Kittle, Andrews, or Kelsey, everyone else seems to be lumped into like one giant wad.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not just take the matchup based chance? Just take your shot. If you have Kelsey or Kittle, obviously you never would dream of benching them, especially not now. But if you have two players that are kind of middle of the road, look up their matchups. Really look into it and just play the team, play the guy with more upside. Not necessarily who's done better up until that point. A lot of times that's a moot point. It's irrelevant. Look forward, whoever's playing the easier team, and just make your decisions based off that. So I would, give me Otton. He's had a good past couple weeks. Leonard Fournette's sort of been falling off. Yeah, give me Otton.
I agree. I think he's an option. He's one of those lumped in options. Now, sadly, we have to go over the last category, the bad tight end.
Very thankful that I don't have to worry about this.
Me too, because the Browns, the Eagles, the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants are all on this list. And I guess the ones I'm mainly worried about are the Eagles and the Cowboys, because Schultz is right on that border of being. He's in that category you just talked about of like the blob of tight ends that you can start.
I would, however, if you want to split hairs, I would necessarily say that he is near the top of that. He has a lot of potential.
I would say that too, but I would also say Goddard is there if he comes back. Is Goddard going to be back by the playoffs, I guess? I guess that's the other question.
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, we can look that up. You can look that up.
Dallas Goedert, IR.
And
he is eligible to return week 15.
So that would be right at this. That would be so. If he comes back week 15, you don't know how healthy he's going to be, and he has a tough matchup. I would be looking to start maybe not someone else, but Hunter Henry, even or Tyler Conklin probably, because I would be so worried about that.
And another factor that you have to consider now that the Vikings just lost this previous week, if the Eagles keep trending upward, by that time they could already have a bye week locked up.
I will say it's probably unlikely just because the division is so close.
No, you think it's unlikely because you're a Debbie Downer, man. Your Eagles are good. Just embrace it. The Eagles are good.
They are good, but I was definitely right to be worried about the Colts. I listened back to what I said, and I was pretty spot on with that. You have to admit, it was that it would be.
All right, I'll give you that.
I mean, I think the division is just super close because everyone in the division is good right now. Like, everyone has a good record. And all their division games, like, they haven't played the Giants yet. They play the Cowboys in Dallas. So there is a chance that they, like you said, they might have it clinched or whatnot. But I don't think they'll have it clinched until week 17, 18. So I don't think, maybe for the finals, but I would be surprised if they rested their players 2 weeks. Usually it's only the 1 week. So I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I don't know.
All right. Side note. I'll bet you $1 that by week 15, which means after week 14, the Eagles will be 13-1 with a bye locked up. Nobody can catch them.
13-1. You think no one will? There's no way. There's only one bye. There's no way that the Vikings are not like at least 2 games, or there's no way they lock it up at 13-1. Because that would be.
So then you could bet me $1 then.
I'll bet you $5,000 in our betting challenge.
Ooh, you just transfer me $5,000?
Yeah.
All right, lock it up.
And you transfer me $5,000 if they have it clinched by week 14. Well, 15. By week 15, you think they have the first seed clinched?
Before kickoff, week 15, I think they have the number 1 seed locked up, can't lose it.
There's no chance. That is like,
all right,
because they have to 13-4, right? Yeah, 13-4. So you're saying to have it clinched. Yeah, but if they lose their next 3 games, they would be 13-4. So you're saying if they're 13-1, there couldn't be another team with 10 wins. You realize that, right? So that all right, is first so unlikely.
All right, so let's just be clear. The Vikings are the closest team. They're 1 game behind, and the Eagles already have the head-to-head. The Eagles are going to lose this week.
Okay, so I guess no team could have 11 wins, is what you're saying. 11 or 10 wins by then.
If you guys are 13-1, and let's just say at that time the Vikings win 2 and lose 2, and they're 10-4, they go 50%. That's it.
10-4.
If they wouldn't be able to catch you. If they tie you, you have the head-to-head.
If they're 11-3, they could catch us. And also, some of the other teams, I think, will be at 10 wins, like the Giants or the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will be at 10 wins.
No, I'll take it. I'll take the $5,000 bet.
Take the $5,000 bet. All right, we're betting $5,000 in our betting challenge.
Now, I can only win basically if if the Eagles just win their next 5 games, but I'm going for it. I believe. All right.
Yeah, this is a crazy bet for you, but if you really want to do this, I'm down.
Side note over. I absolutely would not play Dallas Goedert the first week he's coming off of an injury. The playoffs is too important of a time. You can't risk it. Whoever your other guy is, you just have to put him in. Even if he's someone else even lower on this list, you can't play the guy who just got healthy.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree. Do you play Cleveland tight ends with Deshaun Watson back?
You know what? Brissett has been doing so well that I completely forgot Watson existed. I was never even considering that. Who are we talking about? Njoku?
Yeah, I guess. He's not hurt, right?
Is it like who is it? Austin Hooper? I don't know who the hell is.
Is it?
I don't know who the heck is in Cleveland.
I don't know. Is it Njoku? It is Njoku. Yeah. But is it also Austin Hooper? I don't think it is.
Who the other guy is?
No, Hooper's in Tennessee. That's right. Yeah, it is Njoku.
How do we look? So, they don't have a second guy, I guess.
I mean, he's been doing bad anyway, so probably not. But maybe with Watson back. But I'm not risking it. Essentially.
No, unless you literally have only one tight end, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if there's any other tight end that we need to talk about.
Who's the New York Giants tight end?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Is it like Evan Ingram or something?
No, because he's on the Jags. So I don't even know who is the Giants tight end.
I don't even know how to look that up.
We're disrespecting some tight end.
There's a reason I shouldn't know, but they're in your division. You should know.
Dude, I've never I guarantee you. I'm gonna look this up because I don't.
I'm even looking at the list of the players who caught passes last week, and I don't know which person on the list is a tight end.
Oh wait, but he's out. Daniel Bellinger.
Oh yeah, Bellinger.
I don't even think he's playing. So.
This guy has an awesome name and a big ass head. Lawrence Cager is their tight end.
I've never heard that name ever.
He caught 2 passes last week, man. Come on.
Hey, we haven't played him yet, so.
Oh man.
Yeah, right. But I mean, definitely not starting them. Obviously.
Super excited to see Kelsey in the top 5, though. I mean, you're playing them every week anyway, but I love the good matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, well, I guess now it's time for Ask Anissa, where I ask my wife Anissa a fantasy football question, and she knows nothing about football. So, Anissa, whose playoff schedule are you most worried about? The Bears, the Colts, or the Packers?
Well, when you say Packers like that, let's go with the Bears.
The Bears?
Yeah.
All right, the Bears. Be worried about the Bears, everybody. Now let's play What's Your Prop? Where we pick 3 prop bets for the other person. We'll pick a side. We will keep track of our records and then be publicly punished on the show at the end of the year. Last week, I made up some ground. I went 2-1. I'm 7-11 now.
Not so fast there.
Whoa, what was that? Did you hear that? Who was that?
Not so fast. I went 3-0.
Oh, that must be Sclotty. Sclotty, the secret picker who picked 3-0 for you and told you the answers, knew the future, knew what was going to happen. I'm sorry. That's so stupid.
I was gonna join in on the joke, and I was gonna say thank you to Sclotty, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, it was Sclotty.
I was gonna be thank you for the pick, Scotty, but I couldn't stop laughing. So sorry.
Sclotty. Yes, Sclotty. You picked 3-0. You are now 11-7, and I am 7-11. So you are now 4 ahead. You are destroying me. I don't get it.
Thank you, Sclotty.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh! That's
do whatever.
That was a segment.
Do whatever you want with that. Jeez Louise.
I guess we could just get into the props right away. I don't think we need to linger too long.
All right. Do you want to go first or last?
I guess you can go first because I may know one of your picks already, so we can get that out of the way.
You do indeed know. So for anybody listening, we're gonna base Name Your Prop this week around the 3 games on Thanksgiving, the best night of the year.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that because I was laughing too hard.
All right, my first one. He's had a solid couple weeks. Senor Devin Singletary. Will he score a touchdown?
Will he score a touchdown? Devin Singletary.
I think he's had 3 in the past 2 weeks.
3 in the past 2 weeks? Which means I am riding the Lions' 3-game winning streak. They are tied for the longest winning streak in the NFC with the Niners. I am
Is that true?
Yes.
the Niners have
wins in a row. Yes,
so you're going under?
Sucks. I'm going under on Devin Singletary. The Lions are heating up. So yeah. Going under.
Heating up. Heating up for them is still lukewarm.
Heating up for them is 3 wins in a row. All right. That is I think I heard that was the most wins in a row they've had since like 2004 or something. So I'll take it. I don't know the exact year. So it was in the mid 2000s though, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. I guess we can stay in that game though, because I am going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. Does he get 79.5 total yards?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So that's going
to include rushing yards
and passing. I don't think he'll pass, but if it happens, it counts.
79.5.
Yeah, 79.5 against the Bills.
Against the Bills. After seeing what Donovan Peoples-Jones was able to do, I think I called him Daniel earlier. Just the complete slip. I just ignored it. I know his name is Donovan, but I was hoping nobody noticed. But now that he's come up again, I can't do it twice. Generally, I'm an under guy, but give me the over. Over 79.5.
Over 79.5 total yards. He did have some rushing yards last week, so he could get some again this week, just keeping that in there. But yeah, 79.5 total yards. All right, what's your second pick?
All right. We are shifting games. We are headed to the New York Giants, facing your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, the Super Bowl winning Dallas Cowboys of this year, because
exactly the best team in the NFL.
We have to put it out in the universe on this podcast. That's what we have to do.
Usually the opposite happens. Whatever we say. All right, yes. Daniel Jones. We're going rushing yards, not anything else. Just rushing yards. Over. I know when you do the hook, you typically do a half of a yard, but because I chose 33. I just thought I'd be consistent, and I would go 33.3. Does Daniel Jones get over 33.3 rushing yards? So you still need 34, just to be clear. You still need 34.
I think the narrative is that they're going to be behind because the Cowboys do look good, and Daniel Jones
they're the best team in the NFL. His heart
out and trip his little head over after a 33.5-yard run. And I think he's going to get that 34th yard. And I think he will hit the over. So, yeah, over.
All right, over. Lock it up.
That's my first over in the last 2 weeks. So, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, last week you did go under. You're right.
All right. Now, this one, my second pick. Mm-hmm. You can veto it because it's not technically a prop. And I have a backup with one of the same players. But this is a 2-player. It's a comparison. Who will get more rushing attempts? Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard?
Rushing attempts only?
Rushing attempts only. Because last week they both got 15. They had tied.
And that was the first week after Elliott was back.
Yep.
So give me... But if they go ahead, then they're just going to bring out Pollard.
Exactly. You got to think which one.
Ooh.
It's a tough one.
All right. I'm going to go Elliott and pray that the Giants can somehow keep it close.
All right. Elliott, more rushing attempts. I like it.
Elliott, more attempts. I don't know if I spelled that right.
Oh, are you writing it down?
Well, I want to keep track. So when I'm watching the games, I can remember what I picked and what you picked.
Nice. Yeah. I should probably just share you on the document that I do.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I use my whiteboard. It's okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
What's your third pick?
Moving into the Minnesota game.
Ooh, nice.
Got to go with Justin Jefferson. Over or under 6.5 receptions.
Oh, 6.5 receptions. Ooh. This one's hard. You always set these lines. He's gonna get 6 receptions or 8. Or 7.
or 7. Yeah.
He's gonna get one of those. But it is the Patriots, and they are very good at shutting down the top weapon on a team. So
that's why I picked them.
I'm going to go under. I think it's close. I think he's going to get 6.
I can't believe you're betting against Jefferson, man.
I know. I can't either. I'm betting on Bill Belichick. All right. Well, if they shut down Jefferson, a person who might get more targets, more yards.
TJ Hawkinson
is Adam Thielen. And will Adam Thielen get 39.5 receiving yards?
While I think about that, I have to try to get over the fact that you just had like an evil mastermind laugh. Like you just completed your plan to take over the world.
Yeah, that was a good evil laugh. You have a really good evil laugh, I will say. That was a really good evil laugh. You've been practicing that, haven't you?
I did take an acting class in college. I have to say, that's a true story. That's not a lie.
Nice.
We spent the whole day one time talking about the Big Lebowski and whether or not Steve Buscemi's character was actually dead during the whole movie.
What the heck?
Yeah, go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. There's an argument. There's a solid argument that he was actually dead the whole movie.
That's funny.
Anyway, Adam Thielen over how many? 30, 35 and a half?
39.5. Does he get 40 yards? He has to get 40 yards. Receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm with you. Does Thielen... What the heck? Oh, man. Give me under.
Under? All right. You're rooting against Adam Thielen. One thing you should have never done. I might have got you this week. I might have got you to get one wrong.
Is this just reception yards? I don't think he...
Yeah, just reception yards.
Yeah, I don't think he rushes anyway, but just in case.
All right. So, Sclotty has picked Amon-Ra St.
Hopefully he got me 3-0 again.
Yeah, hopefully.
How do you spell that guy's name? Thielen.
Thielen is the I before the E.
Thie.
Yeah. Wait, you went under on Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? No, you went over.
No, I went over.
You went over total yards. Okay. So I would have listened back and I would have re-listened. But yes, over 79.5. Or you went with Zeke to get more rushing attempts than Pollard, and then Adam Thielen to get under 39.5 receiving yards. Cool.
Yep, and you went Singletary, no touchdown. Justin Jefferson, under 6.5 catches. And you think Daniel Jones will trip but fall forward an extra 2 yards and get over 33.5 rushing yards.
Yep.
I do remember that play where he was in wide open field and just tripped over his own feet. Stupid.
I'm going to do a bet one week where it's Daniel Jones over under 1/2 trip. I'm going to do that. That's a good thing. I'm going to make that a prop one day.
Terrible.
All right. So, are you ready for the matchups, to talk about these matchups? Because There are not that many good ones this week. I was trying to find one, and there's not that many good ones. Do you have any that you are excited about, I guess, before I list the very few that I am excited about?
I think I'm excited for the Thursday night game. I think the Patriots can actually beat the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I don't care about the other two games.
For fantasy,
Patriots, yeah.
I'm excited about the Bills-Lions.
True. That could be a huge, high-scoring fireworks situation.
Yeah, and then if Kyler Murray stops playing Call of Duty and comes back, I'm a little excited about the Chargers-Cardinals. But that is funny. We were talking about this, that Kyler Murray has not played a game since Call of Duty Warzone came out.
It's got to be a coincidence.
It's got to be a coincidence. Right?
But that's hilarious. That's so funny. What is wrong with that guy?
I don't know what's going on.
I'm excited for not from a fantasy standpoint, from a which team will make the playoffs situation. If the Seahawks somehow collapse and lose to the Raiders, then the entire NFC East would be in a playoff spot, which is, I think, hilarious.
Oh, really? Okay. Wait, do you mean the Raiders? Wait, I'm confused. How does the Seahawks?
Because the Seahawks are in the 7th seed right now for the wild card.
I didn't know that.
So if they lose and the Commanders
win, of the division. Who's the Niners are now
San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So the Commanders could jump up into that 7th seed, making the whole entire division a wild card team, except for the Eagles, of course. So just for that storyline, I'm excited to watch that game. Rooting for the Raiders all the way.
Yeah, and then I guess for fantasy, I'm kind of excited. Kind of. I say kind of, very kind of excited about the Falcons Commanders.
that game gets you excited?
I low-key feel like this could be one of those random games that everyone forgets, but in daily fantasy, you have like 2 of these players and you win a bunch of money because you find the right players in the game.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. I would hope that the Commanders just kind of run away with the game, but
I would hope so too. Well, actually, wait, what I don't know what I'm talking about. I would hope. It depends if I start Brian Robinson. That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, you're not starting like Drake London or
definitely not Kyle Pitts anymore. Ha ha.
Kyle Pitts is
pain behind my feet.
Kyle Pitts is going to miss a couple weeks or the rest of the season. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
What about the? You're not excited about the Houston Texans Dolphins game?
I literally like looking at all these games. They're so bad. Who made the schedule this week? They're like, there's one good game. There's not
every once in a while. You just got to have a dud week, man. Like the Ravens play the Jaguars, the Saints play the 49ers. All these games appear to be games that will heavily lean towards one side, but you know that storyline never tracks. Always like at least one upset.
No, yeah, definitely. And for fantasy, there's always going to be a random one. Like, there's going to be a couple, like Bengals, Titans could be really high scoring.
Could be.
Bucks, Browns, I guess. I guess.
I agree. There's a whole lot of question marks this week. I'm looking at it right now as well. Nothing's getting my heart skipping a beat.
Now, question: Do the Broncos score 10 points
versus the Carolina Panthers? Oh my God. I have to be very careful with what I say because the Ravens just played the Panthers and only scored 13.
Exactly.
So how do I word this to make Carolina seem like absolute garbage, but not at the same time seem like absolute garbage? Oh, I know how. The Panthers are absolute garbage. The Broncos will absolutely score over 10 points, and the Ravens had a really bad week. I'm not going to read anything into that. Lamar Jackson was sick. He was clearly playing, still sick in between plays. He was walking up to the new line of scrimmage, not even jogging. He didn't look himself at all. I think that's what that is attributed to. Give me the Denver Broncos scoring over 20 points. I'll even go a step farther.
Because
yes.
I was about to ask you over under 20 points in the whole game. So clearly you would take the over on that.
I read your mind. We often do that.
I may or may not be betting on the over under at lowering it as much as I possibly can. Because
and then taking the over
and taking the under, because I think there really could be like less than 20 points in this game.
Really? You would do that? You think? Oh,
okay. Yeah. I'm
so shocked I can't even find my words.
I think the Panthers could score like maximum 6 points, and the Broncos, yeah, they could randomly figure things out and get 20 points. But I think if their defense only gives up like 6 points or like even 10 points, they're only going to score like, I don't know. I think they'll score like...
You were just going to say 13.
I was going to say 13.
But that would put it over 20.
But I think that's the worst case scenario. I think literally the Panthers could get like 6 points and the Broncos get like 9 or something. I could be completely off, but I really think this game is going to be like the most boring game all year. I mean, every Broncos game is like
the most boring game.
Yeah, so.
Luckily for me, the Ravens play at the same time, so I don't have to watch the Denver game. I can just watch the Ravens play.
True. That is true.
What time do the Eagles play this week? Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, against the Packers. Which I think is going to be lower scoring. I don't think it's going to hit the over, which is why I didn't put it on here, but we can talk about it because 46.5 I think is too high. Just based on how the Eagles have been playing on offense, their defense has been their defense is amazing still. And their offense has been like hitting a plateau, you know? They're going to break through eventually, hopefully, but right now they're at a plateau. And I don't know. I just think this game is going to be under 46.5. I mean, I think that's way too high.
I will tell you that, so Jalen Hurts still got 26 fantasy points, even though they only scored 17 points. Devontae Smith still had 14. I'm pretty sure A.J. Brown still also had he only had 10.
Yeah.
So then I guess my question to you is, if you're pretty sure that that's going to be a boring game, you're not confident in the Eagles offense, who are you benching from that game? Are you still playing Miles Sanders? Are you still playing both receivers?
I think you have to play them.
You think those are guys that just always have to be in the lineup?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't see any way you're not playing them. Just because they have that upside on big plays and stuff. And
okay. I agree.
Green Bay side, I mean, those are dart throws anyway. The wide receivers are dart throws. Eagles cornerbacks are really good, so. I mean, Watson doesn't get much separation anyway, so might not even be bad. But I don't know. I think I would be worried about the Green Bay receivers. I think Aaron Jones will be fine-ish, but
that was my next question, because I don't even think I would play Aaron Rodgers against the Eagles defense. If I had another option, I would lean towards that option depending on how bad they are. I'm not playing any of the receivers, but I might still play Aaron Jones.
I'm definitely.
Eagles are still giving up over 100 yards a game on the ground.
Well, not even just that, but even when they're losing, he's getting so many catches. He's getting like 7 catches. So even when he's having like quote unquote bad games, he still gets 14 points. So I'm definitely starting Aaron Jones because he could always have that like amazing game where he gets 30 points. So you kind of have to play him no matter what. I don't think there's anything else I have to say about that game really.
I can't see another game that's even worth talking about. Jets Bears is a bad game now that there's no Justin Fields, because Jets defense was already really good. Justin Fields might have been the first person that we really see pick him apart with his dual threat. Yeah. But now if he's not even playing that game, that killed any appeal that I would have had to watch that game.
And if he's playing hurt, he's not going to be running as much probably anyway. So, yeah, no, I totally
agree. You don't want to get tackled and hit that shoulder. If a 300-pound dude brings you down trying to get the run game going and you fall on that shoulder, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Monday Night Football is a Steelers versus the Colts. That's a snooze fest. Yeah, that. You're right. This is a really bad week.
Yeah, I mean the Thanksgiving ones I'm kind of excited about, but Sunday's going to be interesting. We'll just say that. Anyway, I guess it is now time for
Rule or Drool, where I either.
So
Are you clapping?
I'm hitting my knee because that was so loud. That was so funny. He screamed that. I was not expecting that.
I'm a game show host, man. I gotta be enthusiastic.
I'm gonna have to put some metal music down. No, but I want to keep that. I'm putting metal music under that. That was you were freaking
okay.
Rushed it.
All right, now I gotta cut all this out. Where I either make up a rule or I read out a really obscure actual rule. And Amp, it is your job to decide if it is a real rule or if I'm making it up. Are you ready?
I am ready, Scotty.
Okay. Today, our rule revolves around the coin toss before the game and before overtime. The rule says, if either team does not send out a captain/representative to observe and call the coin toss, no reminders will be given. They do the coin toss at a very specific time. Everyone is told, hey, at 1 o'clock, be out there. We're flipping the coin. If a team does not send somebody out to do their half of the coin toss, they automatically forfeit. The coin is not tossed. The team that did send somebody out automatically wins the toss and gets to choose what they do, even in overtime.
Huh.
Is that a rule or is it drool?
I think this is close because what I'm thinking is it's either a rule or it's like a half rule. Like you added stuff on to it. Because I don't think you made this fully up.
I will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
In this game, I don't want to split hairs. I will either 100% tell the truth or I will 100% lie. I won't try to get you on a technicality.
Okay.
Either everything I just said is true or nothing I said is true.
If that's the case, I think this is a rule.
Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner. It is a rule.
Yes! Because I was going to say you would have to be crazy to come up with a rule for the coin toss. That would be so random.
Well, wait till you hear the one, if you ever get to hear it, the one that I did make up, because I'm fairly creative.
Oh gosh. All right.
That is a rule. That's crazy, right? So when they go to it's never happened, but the story goes that if they go out there for the coin toss and somebody got distracted and they didn't send somebody out, the referees aren't going to call you over, aren't going to try to get your attention. They're just going to ask the other team to call it. They'll flip it, and then no matter the result, the other team gets to pretend as if they won the coin toss and choose to receive or defer.
Interesting. I wonder if
pretty strict.
I wonder if that actually happened, like if they were late, if the refs would actually enforce it though. Because it could be one of those rules too where it's like it is technically a rule, but they might like give you a reminder once or something, but I don't know. I guess we've never experienced that, so we wouldn't know.
Right. I mean, I'm hoping one day there's a rule like that. There's a rule like that in hockey as well. When they're doing the face-off, if somebody like false starts, like tries to win the face-off before the ref drops it, they kick the player out of the face-off. Then if the second player comes in and also false starts the face-off, the team gets a 2-minute penalty.
That's funny.
But I've literally only ever seen it happen like once in all my life. So.
It would be funny if that happened in the playoffs or something. And like if it was the Bills or something, because the Bills have had like the worst playoff.
They never do well in overtime.
So it would just be like if there was a team that it would happen to, it would probably be the Bills, just realistically.
And then everyone will be like, no, that can't be a rule. And the refs will be like, didn't you listen to the refs will be like, no, I listened to this podcast. They said it's a rule. I swear. It's not written down anywhere. They just take our word for it.
Yeah, that would be
funny. No, I couldn't believe it when I was looking up obscure rules. I was like, that can't be right. You wouldn't just like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Come on, coin toss. Like, nope, nothing.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Awesome. Cool rule you got there. But I guess it's now. Oh, what?
I thought you would have thought I made that up.
No.
I thought that was such a stupid rule that you would have been like, nah, you could think of that.
No. Dang. I'm on my game when it comes to these rule predictions. I gotta maintain my 100% accuracy, you know?
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna spend the next 2 weeks thinking of the most intricate, unbelievable rule. And now that I just told you my plan, I'm gonna have to use a real rule next week.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna get you one of these times.
Yeah, you are gonna get me. You're gonna get me one of these times. And it's gonna be more satisfying when you do get me.
All right, you're 2-0. Congratulations.
Awesome. I guess we can wrap it up now because I am 2-0. I need to wrap it up on a high note. So, ready for the strong opinion of the day, Scotty.
Roger Goodell is a bad commissioner.
That isn't, but that is a good one. That is a good one. Because my strong opinion of the day is that 6-team fantasy playoffs are the best formats.